Like,
Yeah,
shut up. I don't want to be rapping about that shit on my fucking song. I don't care what you did the porn for.
Nothing crazy. You got homie only chat. Episode 6 featuring Shamana. It's gonna be a great one. I'm excited. We both been looking forward to this one. I'm just gonna start it off. Fucking let's go, man. So start it off the same way I do pretty much every one. I kind of want to know how you started streaming. Like, what's the story behind how you started streaming, and how long have you been streaming for?
Yo, what's good, everyone? I'm Shamana. How long have I been streaming for? I think maybe about 7 or 8 years. I started doing it in like 2015, maybe early 16. And I would just do offline, or not offline, off camera Counter-Strike and shit
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Like, it was just ripping it and just being live. And I would do a lot of I really would do a lot of like beat making and feedback streams when I first started out.
Yeah.
That was like the start of it all. That was the start of it all.
Damn.
Damn,
That's been a minute. Like, did you have like any inspiration starting out to, or did someone convince you back then? Like, why be?
What got me into streaming was just watching speedrunners. I would watch this guy Clint Stevens speedrun Ocarina of Time 100%. And that was like the first time I ever really got into watching Twitch. He was doing 100% and he was second place at the time. And it was right after like the big any percent OOT era that happened. So I was like a little bit late to it, but like just right on time for all the 100% fun. And that got me really into it. I'd watch like Super Mario Sunshine and stuff, and I didn't want to speedrun, but I just liked the idea of
just watching it.
The streamer life. I was just like, oh, he's just like playing a game and talking to his chat. I feel like I could do that too. That seems fun. So I gave it a shot, and it turned out all right. Kept going with it.
That's tight. So when did you actually start speedrunning? Because I've seen you do the Final Fantasy of recent speedruns, and I've seen your Katamari ones. And I see you grinding. I see you do both, like We Love and also Damacy.
I have grinded a handful of games over the years, but 2015, like late 2015, or maybe even 2014, the first speedrun I ever picked up was Animal Crossing All Debts on the Gamecube, where you speedrun paying off all your debts and getting like the statue out in front of the train station. I did that for a bit, and then I grinded some other categories in that game for a bit, and that was like my first speedrunning ever. Like, that was the first stuff I ever really tried.
Huh,
and then shortly after, I think I dabbled in some other stuff, but the next main game I played was Cuphead, and I ran Cuphead for a little while, a couple months. Probably have like 600 hours on that game, or 400.
Oh, that's tight. I had no idea, because when I think of Cuphead, I mainly think of Ching's like fucking his run of it, and also like him playing with his feet and
all the videos,
you know, all the shit he does
gimmicks.
with it. Yeah.
He was going ham with the Cuphead stuff on TikTok and all that. That shit was awesome.
Yeah.
So
Cuphead's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I kind of want to know, like, especially because you've been streaming for so long now, like this kind of gonna. I'm really curious. Like, do you feel like you ever had goals with streaming? Like, as far as, especially then versus now, like, do you feel like you sort of had goals, or like how have they changed over time?
The goal when I started was getting to partner. That was like the big goal. And late, maybe like 2017-ish, I did a big partner push where I really started advertising my stream and just trying to bring viewership in.
What did a stream look like back then? Like, because you said
I was honestly mostly doing like Fortnite and music. Mostly. I was like playing Fortnite and making beats on stream. Because I was like, the Fortnite was bringing in viewers, and then of course people did want to watch the music stuff. Thankfully, I was like, wasn't sure how that would work out, but you know, people really liked watching the beat making stuff, and it was doing really well for me. And honestly, it's always been this way. Making beats on stream is a little bit stressful. Like I kind of would rather just do it offline and just be in the confines of my head and like no one's around or anything. I just kind of like the whole alone feeling when working on music.
Yeah. Do you feel like pressure?
So it was always, it was like some weird pressure. Like I still do make beats on stream. Like
I've seen them.
I've seen those too.
Like I made some jungle like PS2 sounding stuff a couple days ago on stream. But so I was doing a lot of that. Big partner push, got partnered, and after that, no, I didn't really have any other goals beyond that. It was just I wanted to get partnered and get like the better revenue splits or whatever, and just grind that. But then after that, I honestly just kind of stopped giving a shit. I was just like, well, I got partner now. I don't need to like grind out all like this content that I didn't feel like grinding out all the time. And I was streaming like 9 hours a day, almost every day, just because like I wasn't doing anything else with my time. Like I was already just doing music for a living, and I just wanted to do something else with my time. So I was just pushing that as hard as I could.
Damn, 9 hours a day is a lot. Yeah. I think that's actually interesting because this is gonna say like you and AJ both definitely are experiencing this a lot right now with the burnout stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna bring it up.
Yeah, no,
I was gonna segue into this shit.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things. We've been wanting to have you as a guest on the podcast, but I saw your post. I know you kind of not redacted it, but you kind of like clarified later on yesterday about how you're feeling about the overall like overall of like streaming and stuff and the burnout you're feeling. But funny enough, I've been feeling that shit as well, and it feels like a weekly basis where I talk to Joe. I'm like, Joe, I think I'm burnt out on this shit. I think I'm just gonna stop. Like I'm just gonna just turn it off and just never come back. And then like a week goes by and I forget all that fucking feeling and I go back live. I'm like, oh shit, I don't know, it was just temporary. But I was wondering how you're feeling. Like I know it's been like a couple of days since, but
burnout does definitely come in waves, exactly like how you're saying, where like you'll feel it just for like maybe a day or two, and then you'll be streaming the next week and feeling like, oh, I don't even know why I was feeling that way. I go through that cycle all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that cycle alone stresses me out. Like the fact that I keep going in this like this roller coaster of it's you get caught in the loop of like, oh, this sucks and I really need to stop doing it or do something else with my time or whatever, or like focus on making the stream better instead of over streaming and burning myself out. Because I think what it usually comes down to is just like you're hitting the live button too much when you don't really plan out anything and you're just kind of going live. And that's like a big thing for me where I'll just rip being live all the time. Like I've set a schedule where it's supposed to be Mondays and Fridays, but I just go live like every fucking day anyways. Like it's just a bad habit.
I had the same exact issue.
It's I feel like a lot of streamers struggle with that, where it's like they might want to have a schedule set up, but they just rip being live all the time because it's like, oh, I have free time right now. Like I'm not working right now. Like all my chores are done, yada yada. Like X, Y, and Z. I should go live. So you get on your computer, you sit down, and you click go live. And it's just this streamer thing where you're like, okay, I have free time. I gotta go live.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're burning yourself out from all your free time.
Yeah. Facts.
My thing was like, I don't know. I was fucking burnt out, or maybe I'd be fucking depressed or some shit. But streaming to me is like, oh, fuck. I feel happy when I'm streaming. I might have to go live. Like, maybe it'll cheer me up. And I go live, I'm just like, damn, this is not making me feel better. Like, oh shit, what the fuck? I'm actually more angry. Like, people are coming in saying shit to me. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Maybe I shouldn't have gone live.
You're more irritable.
Yeah, I'm irritable. I was like, damn, this is not a good stream. Nor is this good. Dude, I've been doing this,
Yeah. Damn, that's so crazy. I feel like, especially because I feel like you guys both, like, I haven't quite hit that stage because you guys have both been streaming longer than me. Like, I'm pretty new relatively to you guys, especially. Like, I feel like you both have a lot of long ass, like, those just fucking streams, especially Sham talking about 9 hours. That's like, I can't even, that's crazy. Like, every day too. It's pretty wild how you guys have the stamina to be like just fucking going through that shit. I feel like, do you feel like that plays a part in it some, like how long you stream as well?
I don't know, it's good. it's fucking good. It sounds like a fucking drug problem. When it's good, it's fucking good. And just I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? 9 hours pass by. It's no biggie.
Okay, yeah.
But,
is that how you were feeling, Sean, back in the day? Like, was it just flowing, or were you like, was it like intentional? Like, I gotta hit my fucking quota today.
It wasn't even a quota thing. It would just be I would wake up, eat breakfast like while I was streaming, and then like have lunch while I was streaming, have dinner while I was streaming, and like my whole day would go by throughout stream. Like I would basically wake up and go live. And also back then when I was doing those massively long strings, I was partying way too much because I was living with my friend and it was kind of a party house. So
oh shit!
Like almost every night people were turning up in the house, and it'd be like, well, let's take some shots, and then it turned into, okay, I'm drinking beers like on like weekend or like weekday afternoons while I'm streaming. It's just like it just got to this the bad drinking point. And I'd be live the entire time doing it, so I'd just be like progressively getting drunker, and then by the end of the stream, I'm just like slurring my words and shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of like the long streams were just like, I think just a result of the bad habits and just being live during it all and just not really thinking about it and be like, well, I'm ready for bed. I'm gonna turn off the stream.
Yeah. Damn.
That makes me think. Like, I'm kind of curious, like for both of you guys, like, especially because you're dealing with this like in such a big like cycle of like burnout, and then like, okay, fuck it, I'll go back. Like, do you feel like you have sort of like a plan for as far as like, yeah, no, not even get, but just like, do you feel like when you think about it, do you feel like, okay, fuck, I need to do this, or you're just kind of just like going through it, and you're just like, fuck, I gotta just figure this out as I go.
It's a lot of that figure out as you go type shit. I feel like for me, it's like I was like, oh, I notice it's happening. I just try to wean off it for a little bit and then get back, you know. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
that's constantly how it goes. That's like how I want to talk to Sham today. I was like, I talk about this with Jill, and it feels like no one really gets what I'm talking about. They give me like kind of like blank advice, and I feel like it's only something I could talk about with like other streamers. Either it's like the people who kind of like, they kind of, what do you call that? Like, well, they felt this way and then they went one way. They went, either they prolonged and kept doing it, or they completely just like cut it out and just kind of dipped.
Said, fuck it,
you know? So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
What about you, Sham?
Yeah, that cycle of just feeling in and out of it when it's on its bad side, and like you're saying, you're going live and you're more irritable with people, it comes in like guilty, because then like you're saying, you don't feel like a good entertainer, and then that starts stacking in your brain, and then you're being rude to people. You start like kind of like acting out, like your mood is all bad just because of like how your stream's going, and you don't realize how it's affecting you until it's basically over, and then you sit there and you're like, oh geez, I'm like letting this really bother me, and I'm just kind of ripping being live. And the whole figuring it out as you go thing, that definitely resonates with me, because it's like I will just go live and be like, even asking chat, hey chat, what do we think about moving on here? Like, what's the, like, should we figure out like a proper schedule or something? So you know what I'm saying? Like I did that like a week ago.
I was
like,
about to say,
I tweeted out all
there.
that shit.
Yeah.
I was just like, what do you guys think about like a switching schedule? Like, because I'm like you're saying, trying to figure it out as I go, and it's hard to just like set a deadline, or set like a rule or a standard or something, and just do it. Like it's I always have to feel things out. That's always how I've been with a lot of things. It's just like I like to feel things out, and unfortunately that includes like the streaming burnouts, because it's like, it sucks, because it's like you and me both probably both feel the same way, where it's like, yeah, we love streaming,
Yep. Yeah.
but it's like this weird guilty roller coaster loop we get caught in, that's going up and down.
Yeah.
Do you feel like most of the guilt comes from like the fact that you aren't entertain ready, or do you feel like, you know what I mean? Like, do you feel like the guilt comes from the fact that you aren't aren't just like in streamer mode 24/7 and you're not always ready to entertain, or like what do you feel like the guilt kind of comes from? I'm curious.
It's a couple things. It's like I feel incredibly privileged as a streamer that does well. Like there's a huge privilege with being a stream that does well. Like there's tons of streams and it's hard to stream in this and into it, like the whole Twitch market. I don't want to use the word oversaturated, but there is definitely tons of streamers and all the attention is divided. It's like it definitely is. It's just it is what it is. And so when you're doing well on Twitch and like you're getting like a fair amount of income from it, you feel guilty and bad about ever complaining about it or feeling bad about it. Like you almost feel like you can't feel bad about it because it's like this massive privilege to even have what you have on here. Like, you know, like I even having like a couple subs, like the fact that people would be willing to throw me some money every month and then still go around and say like, oh, I don't know what I want to do with stream and stuff. That's a guilty feeling, you know? It's like, cause like people are giving you money and it's like, you feel like you're letting people down, even if like they remind you, no, you're not letting us down. Like it's okay to figure things out. Even if you like hear the reassurance, it won't matter because you let the guilt just eat you alive anyways.
Yeah.
Damn.
That kind of, like I've never been able to like formulate how like what you were trying to say, but that is a part of it.
That's beautiful.
Like it is feel like, oh, to feel that the way I'm feeling is kind of, I don't want to say selfish because like I shouldn't even be thinking about that myself, but it feels like that. And it's like, oh well, some people aren't in this position to even have someone who's like looking forward to you going live and shit, or like the fact that like they're even looking, they're down to support. A lot of people just they go through and then they they go through their phase of trying this out and like, oh, it doesn't work out, and they dip. But it was just enough of like love and support, like that that like kept me like, you know, reeled in, like, oh, damn, I do want to keep doing this.
Yeah, facts. It's that community.
You can almost call it like the sunken fallacy or whatever, where it's like all this time and effort's already been sunk into it. You feel like letting go of it is wrong, even if you still want to keep going anyway. Like it's like that kind of feeling of I've put so much into this, I gotta make sure it gets better and go harder. Like this is like things are okay whether they're bad or okay or kind of good. You're like, no, I have to go hard, I have to be better. And it's like that's another thing that'll eat away at you.
It's like the perfectionist kind of thing.
Yep.
Have either of you ever taken a break since you started? Like longer than like a month, no, 2 months?
No, I've taken like a week break. I'm like, damn. Oh, dude, it's been a minute. How's everyone been? You know, I was like, oh shit, I forgot how to do this shit.
So neither of you has ever gone more than a month without streaming.
Yeah, a month, that's a long time.
That's a long time.
I've not done a full month of a break. Like I always come back within like at least a week or two.
Since 2015, right? You said? Or since 2016?
Maybe up to at least a month. Somewhere in between that. But to be honest, it's been a lot of just like back-to-back streaming.
Yeah, stuck to like, I don't know. I got like a streamer brain type shit, you know?
It's like once you figure out how to do it and figure out how OBS works, it's like I gotta do it. And it's like the thing is I'm kind of I guess I want to say an introvert where being inside and alone and stuff kind of gives me energy. Whereas like I used to go out a bit more when I was younger, but now that I like don't really party and stuff, like I haven't like shout out to sobriety. I haven't had a drink in like 250 days or something.
Dude, congrats.
That.
Wow. Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, I've been trying to like wrap up the drinking. Like in the future, like I might have like a glass of wine during like some occasion or whatever, but like the whole party drinking and just like drinking casually throughout the week, like that's 100% gone.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
I might not even come back to like taking a sip or two. Anyways, I don't want to.
No biggie. I'm proud of you. That's tight. Well, one question I have is just to get nostalgic real quick, because you've been doing streaming for a long time, and also you've been a part of like a bunch of communities and you also have like, you know, you have a crazy past with like your music, and it's all impressive. But I want to talk about, if you could like close your eyes and think back, like what is your favorite best era or favorite era of streaming? Like when you're not burnt out or none of this shit that you're like we're both kind of feeling. What did that look like? Like I talked to this with other friends, like other people on the podcast, and they usually bring up like there's a time when all their homies are on, everyone there's a big community, quarantine type shit. But where does that lay for you?
I think when I first started playing Katamari, on stream, like when I first started speedrunning Katamari, I felt like I finally found a speedrun game that I was really into, and it kind of gave me like this streaming purpose.
Yeah.
And that I was feeling really happy around the first time of starting that. I was definitely feeling the stream a lot during that. Like, I don't know if the numbers were good or whatever, but I definitely felt great during all that.
Yeah.
If I were to like try to compare every era of streaming.
Okay.
Do you feel like
when I first started that?
Yeah, when you first started streaming Katamari, did you get like, because I know a lot of those niche games, you sort of get these people who come in and are like, about the like with the shit. So is that like kind of a part of it? Like you got some people who are like, into the whole Katamari thing too?
Yeah, there's a niche Katamari scene, and there was a handful of active players at the time that all helped and got me really into it. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about that.
Yeah,
like it was like definitely like a nice pocket of Twitch. Not like a huge thing, because you know how some niche games will be like this big pocket of like a ton of people. It's like you can count it on your hands how many people are actively in
That's
it.
pretty niche.
Okay.
Because I didn't even know about Katamari speedrunning until I like heard about you, until I met you. I was like, I didn't even know people speedrun this game. I just fuck with this game for the soundtrack,
Do you feel any burnout on any other fronts though? Like, do you feel anything towards music, towards speedrunning, or like is it all together? A kind of feeling.
I think with music,
yeah.
I think with music, it's like kind of it hits you in a different kind of way than streaming for sure. The burnout I get with music is just feeling like I should put out more music, but I usually get over that feeling pretty quickly.
Okay.
Yeah,
kind of separated. Like a totally different thing, right?
Yeah.
I sorry. Go on.
Yeah. So I thought, yeah, my bad. But I kind of want to shift gears a little bit, and like I kind of want to ask, because you're doing this thing where you're collecting a whole bunch of rare ass like GameCube games. You're like got this whole portfolio. I kind of want to know what that experience has been like, and what are some of the games you have in your collection that you're like most proud of.
The collecting, it's like a bug in your brain. Once you start doing it, it's bad. It's like, it is addicting. I'll just say it like that. It's addicting to like start collecting things that you're into, because you just want more and more, and it's like you can't have it satisfied.
It's like real life Animal Crossing. like a fucking bugs in the museum.
Something that I always wanted to be true about was just trying to get stuff on a deal, and then like reselling stuff that I didn't care about, like if I got stuff for like a really good deal, and then being able to trade it for better stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just been like a steady hunt of just trying to get stuff for at least like half the value or under. Trying to. It's like sometimes you might really want something and you'll pay a little more than you normally would for something else. But yeah, it's just been like a steady growth of I'll buy lots on like Mercari, eBay, or whatever, and it'll just be low priced lots or whatever, or I usually like message sellers and like try to get deals and stuff.
What does a lot mean? Is it like just a collection, or is it like
or like like multiple games at once, like a lot, like a bundle of stuff. Like it can be anywhere from like a couple games to like 20, 30, 40 games.
You ever
I've bought in lots that are like 40 games at once.
Okay. Damn. Yeah. You ever do like those crazy ass like storage sheds and shit where like they foreclose or something and you buy like
those are a good idea. I've heard of people doing stuff like that. That's like some serious picker gold stuff if you're really into that type of stuff. I'm just into like strictly like the two consoles that I'm into, which is PlayStation 2 and GameCube. So it's like that type of stuff is just like I'll leave it to people that collect like everything. And I have friends that do that type of stuff, and they do go to like storage sheds and like clean it out for like random old shit.
Yeah. Because I wanted to do that for like vinyl and stuff and other shit, but I also want to get into like the other countries' markets. Like Japan has a crazy ass retro game market, but I don't know. It's like it's tough because it's like what do you call that? Like, you know, the NES is also called it's not called an NES in Japan. It's like the Famicom.
Oh yeah.
It's like I'm like, oh, I don't have a fucking Famicom. You know, I was like, I can't understand this shit. It's cool collecting it, but I can't actually. Same like for me.
You have some Famicom games. Or is that just like an example?
No, it's an example, but it's like that though. Like it's cheap as hell when you're buying it from Japan, but if I want the US one, for some reason it's like 3 or 4 times the price.
Oh yeah, they jacked that shit up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Japanese collecting scene, they're just like not as greedy, which is like a big part of it. And like I think when it comes to American collecting and like just the rest of the world, honestly, it's like if there's like a big like, oh, I have something rare, so I'm gonna jack up the price, and then someone who's rich will be willing to pay for it, and then that steadily raises the price of rare things. Like
and
that's
sets
how rare
the bar
things go
like,
up in price. Yeah, someone like they'll be like, I don't care how much it costs, I'm gonna pay for it, and that will continue to staircase up on games.
Yeah.
Then you'll have Disney Sports Basketball for almost $1,000.
Oh shit!
That game is stupid.
This game is this game's not even good. Yeah, like what the fuck?
So, what are some of the craziest things you have in your collection currently?
I recently got another development kit. I have 2 GameCube development kits, and you probably can't see it from.
Oh yeah, I think I saw you post about it. Yeah.
What's a dev
I'll
kit?
bring over the red one. A development kit is like what a game developer would either test or make games on. So the box I have was better for writing, like making games and doing stuff on, but this other one I have is mainly just for like debug and testing. I'll show that up.
Okay.
So this is an NPDP reader.
Oh fuck!
Damn.
It's a whole like GameCube.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I thought it was like, you know, a demo disc.
No, that's like a whole ass thing.
I don't know if you can see the other one that well from here, but the other one like looks like a massive gray box.
Yeah, we can see it a little bit. Yeah. Where? How did you go about finding those?
Things I have.
Yeah, like how do you even get to a position where you're getting GameCube fucking development kits?
Honestly, just eBay and just getting lucky and just getting them before people even see them. I'm big on just the new listings page.
Yeah.
And sometimes stuff will pop up and people will have it priced for a very low thing, and you know it will sell immediately. And I have snatched up some pretty sweet stuff for a lot of like really good prices. Like those development kits I got for, I just want to say dirt cheap compared to what they're actually worth.
Damn.
And then these are 2 other incredibly rare GameCube things. These are demo disc 14 and 16. These are the rarest discs in the set, and it's because they have the Pokemon DLC on it. So it's like you plug in your Pokemon Sapphire with a Game Boy, and you can download an egg, and you get a shiny Zigzagoon or something.
Oh, that's tight.
Whatever they're called.
Damn. Yeah. It's got like those booths they had like in Blockbuster and shit. Oh, I'm aging myself, but they're like, you would do it and you get like Celebi or some shit, or like, you know, that special event to see Deoxys.
Yeah. I kind of want to stick on the GameCube train a little bit here. So I was like, in preparation for this podcast, I was kind of like going through, listening to like some of your older music, and then I stumbled upon God and I Work Things Out, and you have a Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles on there. That's the name of a song. And then you just recently got the world record speedrun in that game, like over a month ago or something like that. I kind of wanted to, because I think that came out in like 2018, right? Did you ever think you were going to be like speedrunning that shit, or was that just, because I know like that's a game we talk about a lot, because that's just a dope ass game, but like what's sort of like the process there? Like that shit's kind of crazy, right?
The speedrun for that game recently had a big change, and that's what really got me into it. I used to watch it, and I've tried to learn the speedrun before, and I was learning like the glitchless category. But the glitched category nowadays has like these insane, you shoot yourself across the map glitches in it, and it seemed way more appealing, and that was like as of like half a year ago. So I got into it, gave it a shot, and all these fresh tricks and stuff. I grinded it out. But yeah, I love that game a lot. If we're on the collecting thing, I'll show off a Crystal Chronicles thing.
I see it. You collect anything?
Me, no. Hell no.
No baseball cards or something?
No. I love retro games, but I'm okay to just emulate that
Emulate
shit.
that?
Yeah, I emulate everything.
This is a Crystal Chronicles in-store standee
Let me
that would
go
spin
full
around.
screen.
It's fucking sick. What the dude? This guy's just finding it. He's got the fucking the picker mentality.
Damn. I try collecting vinyl, but my brother's the one who goes crazy on that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like you with emulation, but like mine's like just like rips of it.
I just don't have the space to keep stuff I would even think about collecting, and also I'm poor.
Space and money is a big thing.
Yeah. You know, it's like I would love to have, like I have my like little rare ass games here and there for the GameCube, but that's just because I've had them since I was a kid and I never.
It became rare.
Yeah, I wish there's so many games. I went to fucking GameStop. I got scammed, bro. I had all my fucking Metroid Primes and all these shit that I'm like selling back to them, and I'm like, if I could go back, I'd slap the shit out of myself because like, why are you giving it? I got fucking $12 for that shit. I went and bought some Jawbreakers. Like what the fuck?
You see that one guy who like sold his N64 in box and shit? It was probably like a it looked like the Pikachu one. I don't know. It was nice.
He had the Diehawks orange and black one. He had a loose orange Japanese Pikachu one.
There it is.
And like a bunch of like NES shit or whatever. And dude, he traded it for a Switch.
Switch with Breath of the Wild. I was like, what the fuck?
It was like the Tears Switch or the Breath of the Wild Switch.
That's like literal robbery.
And they're like recording him, like smile for the camera.
Yeah.
And he's like,
they're like, are you happy with your purchase or your trade? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Oh, man.
And everyone's like in the comments like, dude, this guy got fucked.
Yeah,
what
dude.
The fuck is that?
They fleeced him.
Yeah, I guess
could have got 10 Switches for that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, if you know how to search it for it, you can find a Switch for under 100. But
easy.
But what's it called? Yeah, they gave him $700 in store credit, and then he spent part of the $700 on that Switch. So like at least he had a little bit more after that. But
yeah,
it looked like it was at least like $1,000.
I was about to say, yeah, no, he got fleeced, man. Especially GameStop store credit. What is that? That's fucking.
Oh, that wasn't even
Monopoly
GameStop.
money.
That was like
Some
that was like a
random
mom
shop.
and pa like shop. Yeah, that's just how they are though. Like to be honest, like if you go to a game shop, any game shop right now, and you try to trade in all that type of shit and like not sell that online, you're gonna get shafted by the price really bad. Like you're gonna get screwed.
Yeah.
They know the value, right? Though, like that's why they kind of like.
I think it depends on who's working too, though. Like some people, because a lot of people who work at those game shops like don't actually know games, but some do, and it's just like, because my friend works at GameStop, and he's like, yeah, he has people come in try to like bring in this rare shit, and he's like, dude, don't sell that here. He's like, come
Their
on,
manager's
come
behind
on,
is
man.
like,
yeah, he is the manager.
Don't say it.
He is the
okay,
manager.
Okay,
Yeah,
never mind.
So that's how it works. He's like, bro, take that shit out of here. Like, go sell that.
Don't sell that shit. Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you fucking $50 and a piece of gum for that. So, yeah, bro. But yeah, no, that shit's wild. I don't know, cause I feel like, do you have any rare games, AJ? No.
I mean, this one guy in like elementary school, in like 5th grade, he lent me like his, I think it's a GameCube. It's a GameCube disc with like Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time and all those things. I think it's worth something. But he let me borrow it for the summer, and then my mom told me like the day of, like when we like during summer, and she was like, AJ, we're moving to Vegas. I was like, oh, okay. And I just kept it.
You kept it?
I was that fucking guy. Yeah. I feel like a piece of shit.
Caps that shit.
Yeah, I just had it, and I saw the price go up. I was like, oh fuck.
Oops.
Yeah, but
the red disc?
I don't know. I don't remember. Somewhere there, but. Yeah. Is that worth anything?
I don't know. I don't know the prices.
Oh, okay. That's not worth shit then. I don't know. I'm like flexing the dumbest shit. Like, yeah, I got this fucking. I got this Ocarina rare. Everyone's watching this shit. Like, the fuck? Cake is watching. Is like, the fuck is that? It's like $10.
Yeah, that shit's
I don't know.
I don't know. I think the rarest game I have in my collection, like GameCube wise, I think is Path of Radiance, but I'm not sure. Like I'd have to actually check, but I feel like Path of Radiance.
Probably.
Like, yeah, Path of Radiance. I feel like is pretty fucking. I found that shit at my mom and pop game shop when I was young. I was like, oh, let's go, fucking hype.
Sweet.
Yeah, that shit's tight. I still have it. But,
I'm like thinking, I'm like, do I have anything? I don't think I have shit.
Yeah,
my shit's basic. It's like Banjo Kazooie and Mario 64 with Bowser.
Vinyl. That's a crazy piece.
The thing is, it's not that rare. At the moment, I got it.
Really?
I got that item, and people were selling for 1,000. But secretly, as I posted that. Turns out the way to get it, I guess, is if you interact with my post or someone else's post, and you write like, "Oh man, I want this shit," you'll get like a mystical DM. Like someone's gonna DM you, and they're like, it'll be like a fake account, like user 774433. He's like, "Hey, I have it."
I know where you can get this.
That's it. I have it.
And they just press that shit for you.
Yeah.
Just got like a warehouse full and I'm waiting for people to like talk about it online.
Fuck.
Now that I said it though, like I'm pretty sure like scammers are gonna start taking advantage of it and like, yeah, just send me some money, and then they delete the account and like take the money. Fucking like,
Wire me $100 and it'll be on the way. Give me that address. It'll be on the way.
Yeah, but okay, so we talked about Katamari a little bit, but I kind of want to know like how it sort of came across your path. Like, how did you think to start speedrunning? I know we shift gears a little bit, but I've always kind of wanted to know.
Well, before you get into that, I want to add to that.
Okay.
And I want to know if it's the same way I found out. How'd you even find out about Katamari? Like as a kid? Can I guess? Is it the?
You'll be wrong. Go for it.
Okay, is it not the Toonami fucking bum? we're like Tom's talking about it and he shows it off.
Yeah. No, I love the Toonami ratings and commercials.
Yeah.
Do those games.
Is that sick?
Hamon showed it to me.
What?
I didn't play it as a kid. I've heard of
Wow.
Katamari. I've seen it before, like in magazines or whatever the fuck, like Gold Gaming magazines. Never knew much of it. I was like, oh, that just looks like some weird Japanese game. And when we started dating, like a year into us dating, so that's a couple of years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, she showed me Katamari Forever on the PS4, which came out on the PS3. And I played that, which is the 4th console Katamari. And that game was pretty fun. Okay. And I was like, this is chill. I didn't even finish it. I just I played like halfway through it, and I was like, all right, let me see if there's speedruns of Katamari.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I see.
I already like speedrunning.
Yeah, you're into it.
So I just looked up the speedruns, and the most popular one was Reroll of Damacy, which is the first game, but remastered to be out on like PC and newer consoles. And I looked up the speedrun of that, and there actually was a guide for that one, so I watched the guide on that. And then I just started ripping it. And I still have not finished, I think, most of the levels that are not the speedrun levels on that game. And I have like 1,400 hours on it.
No, that's like us in Melee.
I've only played like the speedrun shit.
No, it's okay. Half the people who play Melee watching this or some shit, they've never played on stages that aren't the 5 like banned stages. They've never seen Pokeflows. Like they've never seen like the fucking F-Zero race car one that like slides you away.
I was so big on all the single player shit in Melee and all that as a kid. I loved that shit. I was so into like the classic and adventure mode. I even was really into like the multi-man Melee and home run contest. That shit was my
Dude,
jam.
I remember watching like the really like I guess the Japanese or like the random like the home run contest and how they were getting these fucking crazy ass scores back in the day.
It'd be like some ancient Ganondorf clip where he's dropping the bat and you're like, how does he even grab it again? You'd be like, how is he doing that? I remember seeing that as a kid, like, these people are unreal.
Yeah, that shit.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck, dude. I always did like the most basic one where like you fucking throw the bat a couple times and you're Roy and you hold B. But
the explosion shit.
It's like real basic, but I saw some of the crazy ass ones like you said.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting that. I definitely was expecting I've been playing that shit since I was like 10 years old or something. Like that's dope though. I want to put you on.
I love all those games. Like I love the games in that style. Hamon has good taste.
Yeah, that's
Hamon showed me the game called Piku Niku. That one's pretty sick. Sweet. Yeah. I like any game that kind of has that feel, like
real stylized,
like Loco Roco's on them, or like fucking. I guess I'm like kind of stretching it, but like proper rapper kind of games, Julep.
Mm-hmm.
Everything just has like that kind of Japanese, like
totally.
like goofy style and shit.
I'm
like a sucker for
like some Shin-chan shit. Or
yeah. If it looks like Shin-chan or something, like I'm a huge ass fan.
Yeah, I definitely think the thing about Katamari that stuck with me the most is definitely just the soundtrack. Like anytime I heard song, like because people used like I don't remember what era this was, but people were using Katamari music in like YouTube videos all the time, like fucking highlights, whatever it was. I was like, dude, what the fuck are these songs? I'm like scouring the YouTube comments. I'm like, please, somebody give me the sauce. And then fucking, like, yeah, I finally found the Katamari shits, man. That's like that game is fucking iconic. I definitely was just curious because I never knew how you got into it. I think that's pretty sick.
When Shama was picking up scratching, and we were using a sample from like the random audio samples from fucking Katamari. That shit was tight.
Yeah, like the pickup sounds. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
I think there's like a phrase that happens. I don't want to like say it because I'm gonna sound racist and butchered or some shit. But I don't know what he says. But scratching that shit was pretty tight.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a Sekiro clip that we were using.
Okay, is that that's not it?
Mada.
Okay, yeah. I was like, doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like Katamari. Like, that was pretty tight.
She says something like, "You were just a puppy." I think is what she says. Something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so I kind of want to get into more of Sham the Musician now. Do a little transition over here. I'm curious. I'm always curious about the process and stuff like that. I want to know what it's like making tracks sort of that are more collaborative, like Besidju, obviously most popular song, but then like, you have songs like, or more solo projects like Running From My Head, stuff like that, where it's like, you're doing it more for yourself, and like the beats that you're making on stream, that's like more for yourself. I kind of want to hear like what the contrast of that is.
When it comes to collab stuff, it's like you have to limit yourself. If you're not the person who's finishing it, you have to like stop yourself like throughout the whole process and be like, don't make too much, don't do too much to it. Let the other person like put their magic onto it.
Yeah.
And like that's like kind of like a funny issue with beat making collabing. A lot like the joke, which is kind of like an unspoken joke, but it'll sound funny once you hear it and you're a beat maker. It's like, why am I getting a collab of a finished beat sent to me? Like, it's why are you sending me a finished sounding beat? And it's like, to them, it's not finished. And it's like, I totally know that feeling. It's like, it's like you send something that might be like a little longish and has drums and the sample shit already in it or whatever it may be. So it's like, if it sounds too finished, it's almost hard to collab on it. Like it's got to be like this very raw, almost like just sample cuts or like just some drums, just some drum cuts.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be very like raw and to the point. And when it comes to like collabing on stuff, like I really will just sound out just drums or just like a melody, like with like another like two instruments layered together. Like really try to keep it bare bones so we can add more stuff later as it develops. And yeah, so. But yeah, with collabing, it's like a lot of just limiting yourself and making sure it's just you're sending off like just pieces of the puzzle. And then with the solo project, I can just go ham and I start just doing it however I do it, which would be I just kind of start music differently almost every time, like whether I'm starting with a melody, starting with drums, like I change it up almost every time. Like I'll start with some vocal thing. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I think
that's definitely a big contrast between collabs.
Yeah, that's because that's always what I'm really curious about, especially someone like you who's had like some really big fucking songs. I think it's interesting. Like when you're doing collabs, do you feel like there's any? Because it sort of sounded like you're like, fuck, I gotta like pull myself back a little bit. Do you feel like there's a silver lining in there somewhere? Like when you're doing a collab, you're like, okay, yeah, like I fuck with this part of it. You know what I mean? Like, is there something like that?
Yeah, like, are you almost saying like where it feels 50-50 and you feel like it's like actually a truly collaborative project and doesn't feel any sort of weird way or
exactly
whatever. Yeah, I think as long as two main roles are separated, which is drums and then the vibe / melody / sample. Like those two things need to be separated. Drums are just their own lane and then everything else is its own lane. And whether like the two producers do a little bit of each, as long as one is mainly doing one and one is mainly doing the other, that's like the important part.
Yeah.
I think that's like a big thing when it comes to like at least beat making collabing. And like, for example, like I know you brought up the Besidju song. Joji sent me himself singing and playing the ukulele.
Okay.
And I made a beat with that. So it's like he gave me the sample, which was him singing and playing the ukulele.
Yeah.
And then I just made the beat with that. So like that feels very 50-50 already.
Yeah.
So it's just like there's a main instrument and main vocal coming from the one party, and then the drums are laid down by me. Like that feels pretty 50-50 to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would say it.
That's pretty dope. I kind of like that you're saying there's almost kind of like a preparation sort of aspect, because if you're just going into it like, okay, we're gonna we're gonna like collab together, and then there's no like prior planning or discussion, then it just feels like people can start stepping on each other's toes kind of thing.
Yeah.
What?
And like, go on.
Oh, yeah. I want to hear more what you're saying. I was gonna add to that.
Yeah, like when it comes to collabs, I really do like to bounce it back at least 2 or 3 more times after like the initial bounce back to each other, just to like add little things on or whatever. Like Amai and I are working on a song right now, and it's pretty much done, but we're just adding some like just like movie quote vocal stuff on top of it, and then we're gonna put it out. But like the way we've always done stuff is just very bouncing back stuff. But like you know how I told you the whole separation of drums and then like melody and sample and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't really matter for us because we're able to flip entire beats that we send to each other.
Yeah.
So whereas like if I send him like a finished beat, he can like chop it and flip it, and then we can start something new with that. And then I can do the same with his stuff. So like for specifically him, and I'm not able to do that with anybody else because I just feel like it just doesn't end up happening. Like, the way the way our collab relationship works, and that's how we do it. Like we just are able to send like basically finished projects and like turn them into something else, and that's usually what happens with all of our collabs.
Do you feel like that's more of a stylistic kind of thing, or that's like more of the relationship with the person that you have, or maybe both?
Maybe both, honestly, because like we both have a very like mashup, oversampled kind of style that we aim for, and I think when we do it together, we really try to dip our toes deep into like the whole repurpose, reuse like your old beats and then like chop them into something new kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like it's it's definitely something. Alma and I like to do.
Yeah, I have a question because I was digging around. I saw one of your interviews like when you were 19. It's on Tumblr or something. It's just like a young photo of you. I was like, oh shit, that's Sham.
That's me.
That's Sham. When did all this start? When did you start producing? When did you figure out? It's a double part question, but it's like, when did you figure out like, oh shit, this is something. Like I'm actually gonna roll with this.
I started making beats a little over a decade ago, early 2012-ish.
Okay.
And I wanted to make, like, my initial idea was make like electronic dubstep, drum and bass, that type of shit. That was honestly just like what I wanted to make. I listened to like a lot of hip hop and trap music at the time anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And it was honestly just easier to make the trap music and stuff and the hip hop lo-fi stuff at first, just because like I just was confused with like a lot of any sort of drum and bass and like weird sounding production.
Yeah.
So I was doing a lot of that 2012, and that's where it all started off. I was in high school. I was like 16 years old, maybe 15, and started really getting into it, and it was all just for fun and for hobby's sake. And by the time I was in my senior year of high school, I amassed, I don't know, like 10,000, 15,000 followers on SoundCloud, and things were starting to do well, and there was money coming in, and I was like, I was already working a job, and the money was coming in, and I was feeling very motivated to just keep going with it all, and things just kept like the ball just kept rolling, the Katamari kept rolling up more, and things got better and better, and started just doing lots of collabs with lots of SoundCloud legends, SoundCloud homies, and yeah, it's crazy because it's like with any sort of art or music or anything, any sort of online grind, you never know. Like you're just kind of like a fish in the water, and whether the thing catches you or not, you never know. Like you could be ultra talented, not talented, you could be whatever, but it's like sometimes the eyes don't get put on like sometimes you don't get out there, and sometimes the algorithm works against you and stuff. Thankfully for me, things worked out, and I was able to make a career out of all this shit. Fast forward like a decade, here I am now, and it's like everything's worked out since then. Like I was, by the end of high school, I was making enough money from music that I could quit my day job, and like a year after high school. Because I wasn't working that much during high school. Just I actually worked at a party store for a bit, and I remember like making beats and like going to the party store. It's like, you ever heard of like Party City?
Yeah. I got one by my house.
Like I would like blow up balloons and shit. I was terrible at
it. Blowing up balloons, blowing up them beats at home.
Hey, that lines up though when you're partying with your homies and shit. You bring all the material. Like I blew this shit up earlier.
Got a discount. Yeah, no, that's fucking lit. I'm kind of curious, like, you know, since you're talking about more of the origin story a little bit, like, what do you feel like are some of your most important musical influences are, like artists or songs, like some of the artists that had the biggest impact on you, like when you were coming up and sort of cementing your style?
When I was a kid, I really liked the Matrix OST, like the first Matrix movie OST, and there was an artist on there named Paul Oakenfold who makes like house electronic music and stuff like that. And I liked stuff like that. But when I first started making music and was like really getting into stuff, I'm gonna like kind of dig into what I'm about to say. Aphex Twin was always a big inspiration, and it's because I remember a long time ago I watched this like, I guess I want to say Christian music documentary called Hell's Bells, where it talks about like sinful music. And two of the songs they showed off, and it introduced me to both of these artists. It was Eminem, The Way I Am. It was the first time I've ever heard like an Eminem song, and like hearing that song, and they were like, this song is so satanic. And then it played the Aphex Twin song called Come to Daddy.
I love that track
with
too.
The Rubber Johnny music video with the blue face like shifting around. They're like, look at how satanic this is. And it's I remember loving that when I first saw it, and I was like, wow, this documentary did a terrible job, because I just became a fan of these two artists. I was like, Eminem's like falling out of the building in the music video. I am whatever you say. And I loved that shit as a kid. I was like, I was bumping the Slim Shady LP and like Marshall Mathers LP and shit as a kid. That shit was my shit. And then like that Aphex Twin shit, I was just like, it's so cool. And I've never heard of any like IDM stuff before. So it was like a whole new world to me, like listening to that type of stuff. And that was like a big early on inspiration.
It's like,
that is so fucking funny.
Christian documentary. That's good ass marketing. Like it did opposite of what they wanted, you know?
Right?
Like
they're fucking promoting.
But like as like the music approach, datpiff.com was a mixtape posting website.
It went
I used to listen
recently,
to
right?
so much rap. No, it's still up. There was a scare that they went bankrupt and they shut down, but they made a statement. They're like, no, we're still up. Don't worry.
Cool.
I was worried about them shutting down too. That was sad when I heard that. But datpiff.com. I discovered so much like mixtape era rap from that. Like I loved that shit. Like I remember Wiz Khalifa like wasn't even famous at the time, and I was listening to like Wiz old tapes like Prince of the City 2 mixtape and shit, like ancient Wiz Khalifa shit. And like old Lil Wayne mixtapes and shit. I loved that shit.
Oh
like
those are fucking the old school, the goat shit.
The drought and all the dedications and shit.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I think that fucking Christian documentary shit is so funny because I think I've heard of that documentary Hell's Bells. I don't remember where, but I think I didn't watch it myself, but I think that's such a funny fucking deep cut.
While we're on that topic, I remember you told me you were doing a music review stream back in the day, and someone sent you a fucking song file. And I believe that was Richard James or Aphex Twin.
Yeah, Aphex Twin has came into my music feedback stream, and he sent in a joke song.
Yeah,
which was a really wild interaction. He came in with a name that just looked like an Aphex Twin name. I was like, oh, this guy's probably just an Aphex fan. Thinking nothing of it. And he spoke in a very, let's say, like 50-year-old man kind of way.
Nice.
Like he just like, he's just like using like the colon smiley faces all the time, and just like very strict, like how you'd expect like someone his age to talk.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have a song for review, and he sends it in, and the user is like this big amass of numbers. It says like user a bunch of numbers. And the only person I can think of that actually uses an account that looks like that is Aphex Twin's side account. So I click it, and it's literally Aphex Twin's SoundCloud account.
Oh shit!
And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why do you have this private file link from Aphex Twin's SoundCloud? Because it was like a private link that you would have to be the owner of the account to share the link, or someone would somehow like sneak the link around. But this is how I knew it was definitely him. He deleted the link right after he sent it to me. Like if you refresh the page, it was gone.
It's gone.
Oh,
like he made sure like I could only see it once.
Yeah.
And it was like this file called Sucream, like SX Cream, and it was just a screaming sound where it samples the Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the girl singing about if I don't get what I want, I'm going to scream. And then it like blends into this loud siren sound. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
What did you review?
I remember just being like, what the fuck? Thanks for sending in a song though.
Oh man.
Dude, that's fucking tight though.
That is really cool. That's like one of your inspos.
Yeah.
Because he was just
I was talking about it in the car. I was showing him some window liquor. And
it was kind of hard to not like fanboy over him being in the chat. Like once I realized it was actually him, I was just like, wow, man, like you don't realize like how much I respect and adore you. Basically, I was really trying to hold it back. I was like, how do I not sound like such an insane fanboy right now? I was like, you're really dope. Like. Yeah. Holy shit. Like even you just coming in here and like joking on me, like I'm honored.
Yeah.
Was he cool?
Oh,
he was cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He spoke in the chat a bunch, and he was like hanging out he hung out for like an hour.
Oh wow.
He was a cool guy.
Yeah,
I remember something funny that he said was someone was like, "Are you really Aphex Twin?" He was like, "I'm Aphex Twin's evil twin brother." I was like, "You're
the old man,
boomer, man.
Old man
like, you're
chatting.
so ancient for
fucking treating like it's IRC."
Yeah, like seriously.
Oh man, that's funny.
But yeah, he lurks Twitch. He follows random music streams, so it's like if you guys stream in the music category, he still actively uses Twitch.
No,
I kind of stalk his account a little bit just to see like what he's up to.
Yeah,
you can see what people are doing actively on
it.
And he still follows music streamers. Like he follows like drummers and shit like that. It's pretty interesting.
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
That's pretty cool.
I have a random question. We talked about this in the past. You talked about like growing up listening to hip hop and stuff. Like we've talked about like Jedi mind tricks and stuff. Was that from like you growing up as a kid? Was there like an influence, like I don't know, like a cousin or someone older showing you that stuff when you were growing up?
It was the internet. It was just once I started like getting online more and learning about conspiracy theories, it honestly opened me up to old school hip hop, like big time. Just because a lot of classic hip hop is like speaking on a lot of shit like that. Like there's a lot of like conspiracy theory stuff that just gets talked about in like classic hip hop, and it's like I'm sitting here thinking like, oh man, they killed Prodigy because he's talking about the Illuminati. Like maybe like I'm still like throwing around about it all in my head. But yeah, like I don't know, like age 12, 13, 14, I was already kind of like the introduction honestly was Eminem, and then I started finding out about all like the other stuff
from the
that.
fucking devil, the devil tape,
the
documentary.
I was like, oh, I didn't even know there was like aggressive sounding rap like this. So like look into more of it, and then started finding more artists that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Vinnie Paz was a big one. I
really liked, from Jedi Mind. I remember we talked about Blockhead from like Aesop Rock's work, and
Blockhead's such a good producer.
Sick. Yeah, this is some of my favorite guys.
Aesop Rock. Someone brought up like that you could probably make a funny sounding AI Aesop Rock verse. I love Aesop Rock, but it's like I know that AI stuff is a touchy subject.
How do you feel about that?
Like the fake, the verses. That shit's pretty
fake vocals and
like,
shit, or
not like with, it would just be like the typed out AI. It's like you tell a robot to tell it to write lyrics. That stuff is such a gray area. It's weird because a lot of it I'm not a huge fan of, but at the same time, it's like I can see how it benefits a lot of other things. Like it could be used for a lot of positive things that don't have to do with like stealing art. Because the big issue with AI art, like when it comes to like the portrait stuff, Midjourney, all that, they're using like literal art pieces from other artists to generate those things, and that's where I feel like it gets bad. And it's like even with like Grimes being like, oh yeah, I'm selling my AI voice or whatever, like you can use my voice and it's an official collab with me, like. It's like I don't even know what to think about that. It's kind of strange.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. It's a weird.
I wouldn't want to do it. I don't want people AI collabing with me.
I don't know. It's like the Wild West right now. Though,
it is the Wild West.
It's so fucking new, you know.
Laws haven't caught up yet.
Yeah.
Because honestly,
I do like there might need to be like laws set in place with the new power of AI, because before we'd have like shitty Vocaloid shit. Like it just. I'm not saying that like Hiku, the Hiku Miku or whatever is like shitty, but it's like it just has that like robotic sound to it when you hear that type of stuff.
Or it's like chopped up.
And now it's like it's starting to sound a little bit more blending into being realistic. Especially when like I think it was Timbaland put out that Biggie fake song.
Timbaland did that?
And he was like, listen to this. And it was like a month ago, and it was a fake Biggie song, and it sounded actually pretty much like Biggie. You could still tell from the artifacts it was like the AI voice. But it was just like, it's so weird. And of course, a lot of people were really upset about it.
Yeah,
it's scary.
Yeah,
that's fucked. I like watching it like in its early days when it sounds like shit, because it's like oh, this beat was made in AI, and like it's like the melody and everything. You hear like, okay, this sounds like shit. My homie Zaxxon like posted one, like, because everyone's like, oh fuck, this is gonna be all fucked up, it's gonna fuck up the future. I listened to the beat, I was like, ugh. All right, I don't think we had to worry for like a couple more months, and then
that's how I was feeling also. I was like, we thankfully don't have like in these couple of years, like it still all sounds like shit. I feel like down the line it's gonna get to a point where people are like, "What the hell, man? We need to do something about that."
I'm cherishing these days. Like it's still pretty fucking shit on some portions.
Some shit,
or like for videos, the photos is still like the fucking thumbs are like all fucked up.
It's like the warped faces and the fingers.
It looks like a Chris Cunningham movie, like a music video. For like Aphex Twin, like it's all nightmarish.
But I actually also wanted to ask, since you've done a lot of projects and music, obviously, like I kind of want to know, are there like projects or songs or tracks or albums that you've done that like stick out to you the most in terms of like either your favorites or like this meant a lot to me because I was like at this place in my life when I was making this or whatever, like is there something that comes out in your head where you're like, I fuck with this?
I think my early album, We Out Here, kind of speaks to me a lot, just because it was like a good learning transitioning phase for me, where I was just like learning a lot in my own life. I was like kind of starting to just get over the party days. A lot of that whole album I did while I was like fried on like acid completely. Like, the whole thing was mastered while I was on acid.
God damn.
Shit.
It was just like on the tail end of just like the crazy party days and
transitioning.
And it's just like life was moving on, and just like how it sounded and stuff, just being my earlier work, and seeing where I have grown from that. It was like a nice like stepping stone, milestone type of spot for me, and both mentally and with the art and all that. Just like it was like a bridge to the next part of my life or something. So that's why that one kind of sticks out to me. Yeah. Whereas like all the other ones don't really have that same effect. Yeah. But I still do like my other ones.
Yeah. I think that's actually an interesting take too, because I think a lot of people who create anything, you look back at like your past self and you're like, oh my gosh, like, you know, so many people cringe when they look at their old shit. Like, I think it's actually pretty dope that you're able to like get inspiration from that and like still get good feelings from it.
Yeah, and it's super easy to look back and be like, oh, those sucked compared to what I can do now. And it's like, of course, it's like it would be like looking at any of your old art and being like, oh, well, I can do better now. Well,
yeah, obviously.
look at it and take the positive you had from it. It's like, of course I feel like I could go back and be like, oh, we should master that different or do this and compress that different.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely the way it hits you.
Yeah.
The way it hits you.
For sure. I kind of want to circle back a little bit because I don't know the story of how this happened, but like, you know, we were talking about Besidju a little bit, and like, you know, the whole Joji like sending you the ukulele and the vocals. Like, how did that even come about? Like, how did you guys end up meeting? Was it like through the Pink Guy stuff, or was it like just something else? He was just like
through SoundCloud.
Yeah, SoundCloud. I'm curious.
He was still doing all the Filthy Frank stuff at the time. Like Joji wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
He was still doing all the Filthy Frank stuff, and he reached out on email, and the title of the email was 1.5 million subscribers need music for YouTube. And I read it, and it was like, and the message was just him asking me straight out. He's like, hey, I love your music. Could I pay you to have your music on my videos?
Oh shit!
And he linked his YouTube, and I went and checked. I was like, "Oh, this is the Filthy Frank guy." I've heard of him before, like vaguely. I never watched his stuff before or anything.
Yeah,
like I seriously had never really heard of him all like that before until he reached out to me, and I reached back to him. I was like, "Hey, man, like honestly, you can just use my stuff for free. You can just like use the beats for free as long as you like link my stuff on there and show me some love."
Yeah,
and. He was very thankful of that, and he would have been glad to pay me, and that probably would have been fine too. But for those things, but yeah, a little bit after that, he reached out outside of email, and we started talking on Skype because Skype was back in the day. People used Skype before Discord.
It's going back in time. Like, oh shit, Skype, TeamSpeak.
Yeah, and we would talk on that. Like we did like video call together and like smoke weed together and shit and just hang out and chop it up about music, talk about shit, talk about like what we're into. And we honestly started like multiple collabs together. We had a couple things going, but the one that did get finished was the Besidju song.
Okay.
Yeah, he sent that over and he was like, "Hey, do you want to work on this?" And I was like, "Yeah, let me lay down some drums for it and let me see what you think." And there's actually like a couple versions of that song. There's like a version that has like more thrashy, more like extreme sounding trap drums on it. I made two versions, like two major different versions for him, and then just variations of those two. So it was like a very like crazy trap one, and there was like the chill one. And the chill one is the one that came out.
Okay. I was about to say the chill one. Yeah, that's pretty crazy fucking story. Like you're on your shits, man. You're still on your shits, bro. That's fucking tight. I think that's actually a really cool perspective you have too, because that's one of the things, like, because I was introduced to you through AJ, like, so, you know, like I hopped on Twitch, and then like I think he rated you one time, and I was like, oh, this guy's fucking cool. You're like playing some dinosaur game. I don't remember what it was.
I remember we were talking about it. It looked like Turok.
Yeah.
From the dinosaur point of view.
Yeah. I don't remember what the game was. But I was like, this guy seems alright. Like,
so
I vaguely remember the
Macintosh game, Nanosaur.
Okay, there. I think that was
like an ancient Mac game.
Yeah. I remember.
That's funny.
I actually the way I met Sean was through like Ching's and Cake's community, like all those guys.
Yeah.
How did you meet all of them? I've heard like small stories. Like I heard like when Cake got partner, you were like, "Hey, change your name." you should just take cake. It's it's open.
Yeah,
you know.
I did tell him to do that.
Yeah.
I did tell him to do that. Because I went and checked the account for him. I was like, now that you're a partner, you can snatch that. Go do that.
But how did you meet all those guys?
I don't remember how. But when Animal Crossing New Horizons came out, I don't know exactly how we like met up with each other through that. But one of us raided into the other, or maybe like even someone in my chat like recommended, hey, I have a friend that's also streaming Animal Crossing. Like, I really can't put my finger on exactly what connected us initially in the first place, but it was like just a raid after that, like, oh, yo, what's good, welcome, I hope you're enjoying the new Animal Crossing, just like normal raid stuff. And then like a week later he showed me how to do, or like a couple days even later,
the dupes,
an infinite like a dupe glitch came out, and he showed me how to do that. I was like, oh, you're my guy. Let's do it. Let's run this up.
We're fucking bros now, dude.
Yeah, I was like, honestly, I was like, if you're giving me the glitches, like, you're the homie.
Yeah.
It's like the fucking plug.
Yeah.
It's like giving you the hot shit. That's funny as
fuck. And like, honestly, just the fact that he was like a big collector, I have like a collector that's kind of very similar to him in real life that I'm friends with. Yeah. And he reminded me a lot of that guy.
Oh, okay.
So honestly, like seeing Cake be like so excited about all his collection shit got me like back into caring about collecting.
Yeah.
Like,
that's awesome.
Like a couple of years ago. Like, I'd say it's probably because of just like mostly Cake alone. Like, I started giving way more of a shit about collecting. Like, so you could almost say he's a bad influence for it. Maybe a bad idea to start blowing all my money on this shit. But,
goddamn.
I've been having fun with it. It makes me happy, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Because I love that community. Like
but yeah, shout out to the Cake overall community.
Yeah.
It's like meeting Ching and Cake and Eve and just meeting everybody.
Yeah.
In person really cool. Through that, like meeting people in person was cool.
Oh, you met everyone in
when
person?
I was in California, we only lived like 40 minutes away from Cake.
Oh shit!
Oh wow!
They're like, we were super close. We only met up one time, and it was just like a couple people getting together. Like went into like a mall or something like that.
Yeah,
is
pretty fun.
NorCal?
They all moved away.
He was.
Yeah.
Ching is still
Portland
over there
or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. That's not my favorite time of like Twitch, because that's when I kind of met everyone. It was cool seeing like, I don't know how to say it, but when I'm on Twitch, there's a lot of people on Twitch, but it's very rare I find someone I want to actually like hang out and chat, or I'll like laugh at like what people are saying. But it seems like everyone in that community is like fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like it's like a not off humor, but like it's different. Like it's a different humor, you know. It's like it kind of reminds me of like Twitter shit posting, but like in a stream. Like just everyone's just goofy. It's really funny.
That sounds dope.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Oh yeah, I was saying though, because you were talking about how, you know, when Joji reached out to you, you were like, yeah, don't pay me for the beat or whatever. Like, I think that's a really cool perspective to have, because that's one of the first things that stuck out. That's how we got on this, because that's when I first came into your streams, and you were like, yeah, one of your things you have on the about is like, yeah, you don't have to fucking pay me, just like show me love. Like, I love to see, you know, whatever you use my music in, all that kind of shit. And I'm like, I think that's actually really fucking like dope ass way to handle it, especially because like you were already, you like made money from music too, so like you would think, you know, you'd be like, oh yeah, like, you know, you can pay me for that shit, but like you sort of went the other way and are like, nah man, just fucking, you know, show love. Like, where do you feel like that mentality sort of came from? Is that like you trying to give back, or what, you know, what do you think that sort of came from?
I'm a big fan of just YouTubers and editing and all that shit in general. I just support it and I fuck with it, and I understand how copyright music sucks to deal with.
Yeah.
And putting out music, and as a musician, I won't want to ever strike people. So like, I encourage people to like make montage edits, gaming edits of whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please use my stuff. And like, I've tried to like make statements multiple times and tried it in different places or whatever, just so it's like out there. Like, as long as you show me credit and show love, go for it. And like, even if you like don't link it or whatever, maybe someone can hear it and Shazam it or something at least.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like even if you don't do everything I ask with it, it's all right. Just the fact that people even want to use it is awesome to me.
Yeah,
because it's like I was so into that as a kid, just like watching like old Call of Duty 4 edits, Halo 3 edits and shit, and all the music that be played on that. A lot of that would honestly just be like Breaking Benjamin and shit like that. But then you'd hear like the more underground artists, and I wanted to be a part of that. I was just like, oh, I want to be like this like
cold,
really
music.
deep niche pocket artist that you would only hear on like an editor's video. And like I got to live my dream out with that one. Like I'm on all these old like Call of Duty, Counter-Strike fucking edits and shit like that. Like I'm on tons of these edits on YouTube. I really should try to like make a playlist of it.
That's awesome.
And I try to like reach out to the editors and show them love too. So like I'm in contact with like a lot of those people, and they're all really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to shout out because that's like a dope ass mentality.
Yeah,
I
do love that.
You don't see a lot of people who make money from music and like go I don't want to be that guy who's like copywriting motherfuckers and all that shit. Like that's a really dope way. So I just wanted to show love for that. But on the copyright, actually,
I know where you're going with that.
Yeah.
I was gonna pivot towards it too.
Yeah, go for it.
I was gonna say if that's ever like backfired on you. I remember hearing something. I think you already know where I'm going with this too. Where it appeared in like in like some fucking music video type shit recently. That
oh yeah,
I'm like hinting at it.
So when it comes to allowing people to use my music on videos, like I say that for the most part, because if you take it and you do something like weird with it, honestly, like I'm not gonna like that. And I've had one instance where FaZe Clan used my music without reaching out or crediting me or nothing. And honestly, if they would have just asked me, they could have used it. But the fact that they didn't do nothing about it, I demanded some money and I got paid for that. It's just like, I was just like, you can't be doing that. And like, whether or not that ruined future opportunities with FaZe for me, fuck FaZe Clan. But it's like, there was another major instance. There's this, let's say, controversial.
Feel free to take your time. I don't know how to phrase it
the
either.
right wording.
Yeah, it's like I want to say she's a porn star, but yeah, I guess let's just say porn star, just because it would make more sense for like the people listening. Belle Delphine, which is a porn star that kind of has mostly a fan base on building the whole "I look like a little kid" age play type of stuff, and it's just like she used a song of mine and rapped over it in this like music video she put out. And I didn't get any credit or nothing, but it's like, I don't even want credit from that. I don't even want it up. I don't want that. I don't want her rapping on my shit. Like, I just don't. And like, I made I made a big statement about it. I was like, oh, fuck her. I want to get paid for this. But it's like, honestly, with all the other YouTube stuff, I don't care to get paid from that shit.
Of
fuck
course.
her. I know she's rich. I can get paid from her. So that's like, it's like a contextual thing.
Of course.
Definitely.
When it comes to like this like rich person that like raps about it's almost like it's like she, and I know she's known for like stealing from other artists. Well, I know that now as of like that whole situation, people let me know. It's like, oh yeah, she's known for stealing from people. Like she does this type of bullshit all the time. And it's like, oh, well, that's unfortunate because I guess I'm just getting caught in the mix. And it's like, it was cool because it's like, it was like just a funny situation. And I can look back on it and be like, what the hell was that all about? Like not everyone can say that Belle Delphine stole their song. But here I am. It's kind of weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's like, fuck her. I still want to get paid for that.
Definitely.
What ended up happening? Like,
I did nothing about it.
I
did nothing about it. The guy that was in the music video, whatever his name is, Too Mad, I think. A friend of mine reached out to him, and I think was like really rude to him, been like, "Yo, you need to pay my fucking friend" or something like that. And he like gave like a half-ass like, "Oh, I have nothing to do with that" kind of response. Like, "Oh, I'm not gonna get involved." So like that was like the only effort that could have been made towards talking to her, and it's like, one of my mutuals is mutuals with her, and I was thinking about asking him to like message her. But I felt like that would have been kind of weird.
Yeah.
It would have been like the best way of reaching out to her and like getting it solved. But it's like I don't even want to have a civil conversation.
Yeah.
I want like her manager or someone to just wire me $3,000 or something. Like fuck her. Like that situation was funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's
yeah. Nothing came of it though. I talked to some people about it and they gave me some advice. They're like, if the music video ends up generating like X amount of plays, then take it to court and then you can like sue her for X amount of plays. But the song got like taken down and shit. She's also stealing from like Avril Lavigne or whatever. Girl that old rock artist girl.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, it's like the double whammy.
Yeah, exactly.
From artists.
That's like, crazy.
So it's like, I don't think she's making any money off of it. So it's like, I can't really sue or anything. I just want to be paid. But
no, I get it.
Nothing will come with that.
I don't. Because I remember seeing that.
It's
just
a funny story at this point.
It's just a funny
story. Yeah. Because I remember seeing it. I was like, what the I forgot who's linked it. Like, well, probably from your post, but I saw it. And I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Well, at first I was like, why did this get linked? Because it's just a cover of like Avril Lavigne. And then I heard your beat, like the dolphin track. Beat. Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. What the fuck is this?
And she's like rapping over top of the Wiz Khalifa vocals in it. She's not even like stemming out
she's not
or anything. She's just like rapping with the vocals already in it. And she's rapping about, I did the porn for my dad. Like, shut up. I don't want to be rapping about that shit on my fucking song. I don't care what you did the porn for. Don't talk about your dad and porn in the same sentence. I don't want to hear that.
Fuck, dude. Oh man, I'm sorry that happened. I know that doesn't, it's just come from me, but fuck, I could visualize
positive and a negative because it was just funny and it's a good story, but it's like she's gross and I don't want to get around it. And like a bunch of her like white knight fans were like trying to drill into me, being like, "Oh, like fuck you, you're." I don't even know. I don't even remember. Like,
what can you talk shit about? Like, dude, this is my fucking beat. This is my music. What can you talk shit about? Oh fuck!
Yeah, it was stuff like, like she saved the song or something.
Oh my god,
she's never gonna fuck you, bro.
Dude, that's
she's
fucked.
Never gonna fuck
That's fucked. That's
fucked.
fucked.
That's fucking
That's just funny as fuck.
I was curious. I was just curious. I knew we had to fucking talk about it because
I'm glad you brought it up. I honestly like sometimes forget about that it even happened. So when you brought that up, I was like, oh jeez.
That's weird. That's funny.
Had some weird things happen in life.
Damn. All right. Well, to pivot off of that. I know you definitely get passionate about a lot of things. You stream, you speedrun, you make music. Is there anything else like you on your daily? I guess right now that you're really interested in that maybe you're not like conveying on like stream and stuff.
Yeah, I guess just with those main things, the speedrunning, streaming, which is mostly like the speedrunning lately. We'll get back in the whole getting past the burnout part. Speedrunning and streaming. Music collecting's been a big hobby of mine the past couple of days or years, not days.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I did this in 2 days. Something that goes off and on for me is DDR. I play a lot of DDR.
That mania. I've been seeing those streams.
And I feel like every time I play, I get a little bit better. I'd love to put more time into it just because it's good for my body. And
it's like really good fitness.
Yeah. You convinced me. I want. Yeah, I'm terrible, but I saw your setup. Like it looks legit and shit. Like straight up metal, has the bars on it and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking sick. Only DDR I ever played was Mario Mix.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
I had the GameCube dance pad. You fucking plug that shit in. Yeah, man, that shit was tight.
Yeah. My experience was like the PS1 DDR, and you had like your own fucking pad, made of like mesh or plastic or something. It smelled like shit because people would be on it barefoot. Like it's fucking gross as shit. It's fucking gross.
I don't remember it getting nasty. Y'all had stinky feet.
Okay, maybe just a family problem, a family issue going on.
It starts in the family. We got stink ass feet on the pad.
Oh fuck.
No, my shit was probably like dirty and stinky too. I just don't even remember.
Yeah, I think I always played with socks on. I don't remember.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I probably
different household. But
I had one of those pads as a kid too, and I used to take 2 chairs, like the dining room chairs. I'd go
you hold on to
kitchen,
them,
and I'd hold on to them, so I'd have a bar behind me,
Oh.
and I'd be like hitting my legs into the legs of the chair because they're like so close to it.
Yeah, that's funny as
Shit was
fuck.
funny.
Yeah, no, I never really. I just was just trying to fucking jump on that shit. Like I never actually held anything. That's actually pretty smart though.
Yeah.
That Mario Mix game had some fucking sleepers, bro. That game had the soundtrack is
I
actually.
vaguely remember it.
Yeah, that shit had.
It's got some good ones on there. I got all the songs on my setup for the Mario Mix. I got like half of them finished. I got to finish all those.
Yeah.
They got some bangers in there.
I was about to say they did. I couldn't believe. I was like, "What? This is Mario? What the fuck? Why is these shit?"
Yeah, some of them won't even sound like Mario.
Not at all. Like,
oh,
this is like some fucking soul track or something. Yeah, it's like crazy.
Yeah, and at the end of the song, you'll hear like a wahoo.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, Mario.
You're like, okay, yeah, there it is.
Okay, there it is.
Fuck yeah. So I mean, yeah, this is sort of the last question I have on my little, fucking prompter script thing, but just kind of like for the future, do you feel like you have any artists that you have on your list of like, ooh, I want to collab with this person, or ooh, I want to collab with this other person, or you're kind of just like, I'm kind of just doing my own shit right now?
Definitely I'm kind of just doing my own shit right now. I'm really into Detroit rap lately. Like I love the whole Flint, Michigan, Detroit area style rap, like the whole scam rap, you could almost call it, like a lot of people will call it that. That stuff's really good, and I would love to just work with more artists in that area. Like I make some beats with Undefined, who has produced a lot of like random stuff for those types of artists, and like I've sent out the stuff to like Babytron and shit with him.
Yeah.
And trying to just tap into the Detroit beat market more. I really like making them. I don't really put out a whole lot of them, but I really like making them.
Yeah.
And just some like Detroit artists. And then for not rap stuff, people I'd want to collab with, there's this singer named Velvet Negroni that I've been keeping my eye on. I don't want to say I'm good friends with, but I'm cool with his like main producer. So like eventually I was gonna do something with him and then do something for that guy. Velvet Negroni is a phenomenal singer. I would highly recommend if you're looking for something like that.
I just want to say Velvet Negroni. I'll put that shit on right now.
He's really good. I don't know what to call it though. Like what type of music? Like world, kind of like simplistic R&B in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I guess other than the music, is there anything else you're working on or people should look towards that you'll be doing?
I really want to put out vinyl of my next upcoming album. I'm working on 3 albums right now. I'm working on a drum and bass jungle album that'll sound like a lot of like PS2, PS1 type of like old school 90s type of shit.
That's dope.
I really want to like tap into that sound. Like
I
really want to like master it. So I've been making a bunch of it and I've got a lot of songs ready for that.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to put out that album. That'll be what comes out first. And then I have like a rap mixtape coming out where it's just like me joke rapping about like game collecting and shit. I have a couple features on there.
That's awesome.
Like if you guys are familiar with Simply, the speedrunners, like Super Mario 64, I got a couple verses from him on there.
Wow.
And,
oh shit,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it'll be some wacky fun shit. And then I'm gonna have a third project that'll be like the classic just beats and like ambient weird shit that I usually make on my most recent albums. It'll be stuff like that.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Dude, I appreciate you coming down for the podcast, Sham.
This is great.
Thanks for also being patient because like the startup was kind of late, but dude, it's always fun kicking in.
Yeah.
If you ever want to do more DJ sessions, let me know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I really want to like get back into the scratching and have you give me some more rundowns.
I need practice too. So like it'll be good. It'll be good like practice.
Yeah. This is
practice
awesome.
for both of us.
Yeah. This is my first time getting to actually like speak to you personally. So this is really dope. Like I've been kicking it in the streams and shit, but it's been fun to actually get to like finally talk. So this has been dope.
Finally have conversation, right?
Yeah,
just like actually on a call.
Yeah, it's been
I really appreciate you guys having me out for this. This has been definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course. But Sham, I appreciate you pulling up. Yeah. Have a great day. Tell Hamon that we all say hi.
Yeah, facts.
And give Sham some love.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Let me just read real quick.